Hey, welcome everybody to Battle Pirates Crib. Sorry for Mike's confessions earlier.
I didn't know we were live.
We probably weren't.
I hope not. Go ahead. Sorry.
And it's open mic. The link's on the right-hand side in case anybody else would like to join. I think we're going to talk about the Gladius TLC, hopefully, and probably more of Bounty 35. Let me go ahead and introduce everybody. Lady Cat.
Hello.
Derpy.
Outbreaker.
What was that?
I said Outbreaker.
Okay. Magic Mike.
Hi. I wish I was.
Okay. And KB.
Good day.
Good day. Alrighty. We've got a new CM Diary as well. I'm having some issues with Google Slides, but I'm glad Lady Cat's not. But it kept me from doing some edits later in the afternoon. But let's go forward to the calendar. We have a new calendar for next month. Whoops.
Well,
it's not a calendar, it's a list as opposed to a PvE whole calendar. They just make two calendars.
Yeah.
Every I don't know.
Okay, it still works. But all right. We have Pillage next week, and that is going to be as much ballyhooed and loved is going to involve your Everest. When we have some news on the Everest as well, but we're going to have to go through the CM Diary to get to that. Which is interesting and sort of expected. We've sort of been requesting it for a while. And a raid strategy guide.
Which is important because it's the first one of the cycle this month.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be. It's short fuse. Oops. Yeah, I forgot to make that edit. This was the original version, but I've been having problems editing. It's short fuse, I think it's short fuse, not show fuse. And the following week, and then we have, everything starting back up again. And there will be a special event despite, one click. What does NA mean?
North America.
Okay. And then to be Canadian. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah, okay. It doesn't mean not applicable and to be confirmed, as I learned on the internet. So, for Pillage, we have the Zealot and the Everest. So be ready for that next week, where we should expect to get more limited weapons and tokens, and sort of what we're getting in this current Gladius TLC. Just more of it. And I don't know, anything else anybody finds of interest in the
go back one click.
Mm-hmm.
So that August 31st, that's a Monday. The rest of those dates are Tuesdays. I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, the calendar it's different up there, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wish they would just use your real calendar with all the little squares on it and put the stuff inside the real calendar.
Well, at least if they as part of the thought pattern of creating it, they did it that way. Because I think that would be, I think we would end up with a more accurate end product if they did that as far as forming it. So, all right. If there's no more on the calendar, if you can switch over, I'll take you off of screen share, and we can switch over to the diary, which I wasn't able to create slides for, besides that little bit before I had issues editing slides.
Alrighty.
All good?
Should be.
All right. BP next week. Okay. contains support for September Pillage. And Pillage, we are getting, contains the new Tier 9.5 Legion Siege flagship hull. You want to say it, Lady Cat?
Might.
Gladius. And so much more. Briefing goes live by the end of the day. And does anybody else want to pronounce it?
Mines.
Okay, there we go. We have multiple people, multiple interpretations. Sounding pretty similar.
Frickin' Bleach.
I like the way Cat says it because it sounds close to Mike's.
Mm-hmm.
Might.
And then we have Pillage and anything else? AMA with Peter. Now, does anybody want to guess
I
what
want to know
AMA
what
means?
his favorite. I want to know what his favorite color is.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
What?
Mike, what does AMA mean?
I don't know.
Okay. American Medical Association? Okay. Okay. Lady Cat, I'm not going to ask Derpy because Derpy's a youngster. But what is AMA?
So I know what a common internet abbreviation is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All
I'm
ma-
gonna-
I have no
What?
idea, but I'm gonna say
A
all
moment.
mates aboard.
Are you going to say what?
All mates aboard.
No.
I don't know.
Okay.
It's a piratey
Okay.
thing to say.
Yeah, KB, you have any guess?
No bloody idea.
Okay, I knew this was going to be the situation. Derpy, what does it mean?
Short for Amazon.
There's three people on here at least who don't know what this means.
American Medical Association.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that make sense in context?
Okay, explain what it means.
We're old, Derpy. We're
It
old.
means ask me anything.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. All right. So I was just trying to communicate that we were having issues with the TBC,
Do you have to be?
and we're also having problems with the AMA.
Deal.
And the ABCs.
the 1, 2, 3s.
Oh, yeah, the 1, 2, 3s are pretty hard as well. I don't know.
It's easy as ABC. One,
Yep.
two.
Questions about HTML5. One good question people should ask is, have they changed the specs on the computers that we use to play the game? And what are the current specs? Because it feels that they've increased them associated with the implementation of HTML5. The second question I ask is, what's going on? FA's Junk is way overdue as a flagship. So I don't know which order you guys want to ask them, but at the time, oh my God.
Well, he's in Australia,
But he's also on it at he pops on Discord at like 3:00 p.m. Eastern time, which involves the UK, Europe. It involves a lot of people. 9 to 10 Eastern time is, that's we midnight to 1:00 East Coast.
It's not an ideal time for sure.
And then it's like 4:00 in the morning in the UK. It's not the best time. But
And are they gonna? I see they've got a forum thread for questions. Are they gonna do a forum thread of a transcript afterwards for those of us that are hopefully sleeping during that time?
I think they're going to have.
You can just copy and paste it in.
Yeah,
Why are they gonna be up?
yeah. We may have to do a special show where we just go through on Friday, line by line, just reading what's back. I'm sure we'll find some highlights.
Well, it depends on who got banned in the middle of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're going to have Derpy in the quiet room the whole time before it even starts.
I haven't been there in weeks.
Yeah, okay, very good. So, keep an eye on the. Okay. They've updated the list of known issues, which was.
No, they haven't. They said they haven't. There are known issues that have been fixed for 3 months and issues that they've known about for 3 months that aren't on there.
Well, it's a lot longer than the last time I looked at it.
It didn't say it was done. It said keep an eye on the forum for an updated post.
Well, there's a help center article.
In the meantime,
In the meantime, check out the list. Yeah, you're right.
That list was nowhere near accurate. There's probably 10 different bugs that are there that just they don't acknowledge.
Okay.
Where's the list to the help center article?
It's a long list. It's like 80 items, right?
Well, there's a couple new ones up there.
This was updated 8/25. It said it was updated 3 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it says it does not include all the reported bugs, but it will be updated regularly.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
I mean, the big one is the top left fleet health bar does not update dynamically in combat. And I guess we discussed that on the Wednesday show. So we're going to have to wait and see if that carries over to new targets, because it seems to only show up with the newer targets, which tend to be a little bit on the side of the more important ones. But we'll have to see and wait for the raid or whatnot to figure out if they still work. So do you need me to take you off for us to go to the okay.
I'll just do it this way.
Alrighty. Okay. Short fuse.
I feel like this should have been the name for the Mutineer raid.
I thought it was the name for the bloody bounty, because everyone's got a short fuse about that.
Well,
I think the fuses are getting shorter.
yeah, and people have a short fuse on the Sword of Legion as well. So yeah, it's being a little contagious. We are going to we're going to get the new Tier 9 Everest flag hull, the Cloudbreaker, and the new Ascension mortar system, which I'm curious to see what that does, because of mortar system could imply, reload, projectile speed, things like that. But we also get the Gladius X1 upgrades that everybody's been clamoring for. But
yeah, my U0 fleet that's not even finished built. I don't even have 4 holes yet.
For the Everest. What's this? The Gladius X.
Gladius. I'm not even close. I'm not even sure I'm going to get, I have no idea. I'm so much further behind, despite not doing anything different on my Gladius than I normally am. I don't really know.
There's a problem. You didn't coin it.
Yeah. So.
But it really sucks if we can't do this raid because we need to get the ship.
You really need that Everest flagship.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then the go down just to like another inch. There we go. The Cloudbreaker Everest is a fierce countermeasure ship with a built-in aura that debuffs enemies' projectile speed, reload by 20%. So this combined with the Ascension mortar system, if it also includes projectile speed, could be quite interesting as far as how people have currently built their Everests, as far as the K2 versus HVR issue.
So here's the thing. If I read the description, does it sound like it's going to apply the projectile speed once the weapon hits the enemy turret? Is it going to apply that debuff once that happens?
We don't. Well, it's not a weapon.
I'm a built-in weapon.
But they said built-in weapon on. What did they say built-in weapon on last week that wasn't a weapon?
The aura for the defender flag.
Yeah. So I'm assuming they're just using the word weapon.
When they mean aura, that's for.
Yeah, but
that's probably the only way that they can do it. It'd have to be an aura.
No. They could have a weapon with a range of 180 that's firing out, and all it does is do this. But that would be new.
But what would be the use of a weapon like that?
It wouldn't, which is what I'm saying. It would be a waste because by the time
Exactly.
something shoots at you, by the time
But
you hit
it has
it,
a, what if it has a range of 180 or a range of
ridiculous.
Yeah, but
or 300?
But it's only reducing the projectile speed.
And the reload. But yeah, but the reduction in projectile speed is quite important because that is, currently the K2, which was released with the Everest, is not part of the most optimal build in regards to repair time. The most optimal build involves the high velocity rounds, and that's because the 100% increase in projectile speed is greatly increasing the efficiency and effectiveness of your countermeasures. So if you slow down the incoming projectiles, you don't need to speed up your response as much. So it may make the high velocity rounds as the current preferred build less effective because it provides a fraction of the damage, because I think the high velocity rounds has 85% building and wall damage, while the K2 has 200%. So if you could even out the performance of the countermeasures by doing something like this, or I don't know what is also included in the Ascension mortar system, that if you level the field in regards to the effectiveness of the countermeasures, that the difference between 85% building damage and 200% building damage would be shown.
But if you're slowing down enemies' projectiles, that means that you're looking like trying to outrun them.
Okay, we could get into whole we could, yes, I mean that would be one thing, but there has sort of been an unexplained issue as in regards to projectile speed. There's a more complicated issue that I don't think we want to get into at this point, because that's going to take some time to explain and probably some arguments on how it works. But if you just take a look at like the Gale, where the Gale will fire at incoming mortar until it either hits you or you kill it. So if you have a faster projectile speed or a longer range, but we don't want to get into that, but you have a chance at firing at it multiple times, because it doesn't fire again until it's already encountered that projectile. So if you fire your Gale at an incoming mortar, it misses, okay, it's going to fire again at the same incoming projectile, which is different than the phalanx or the sprint in regards to other countermeasures. And so projectile speed, it means a lot in regards to countermeasures. But again, if you can run under something, that also matters as well. But more recently, it's been more of a countermeasure issue in my mind. And TSM thinks it looks like an old icebreaker. I think it looks like a new icebreaker. What about that, TSM? Uh-oh. KB, your devices are not connected. So, anybody have any thoughts on this little change?
If this is an aura with a range of like 300 or whatever, and the Ascension mortar gives you projectile speed, I like what I'm seeing here.
Yeah.
If the Ascension mortar system replaces K2, then we're going to have some issues.
I don't think it would, because that is.
Well, I hope not.
The K2 does what? Building damage, wall damage, and anything else?
Yeah, just that.
And the
Okay,
K2
so it's not going to be.
the K2 was the tech that came with it, so that's why some of us went with it, even though it wasn't the best build. we thought that we're going to give us more that would make it the best build.
And now they're hopefully doing
well,
that.
and also, when we built it, we had not seen the targets.
True.
So we didn't know it wasn't the best build at that point in time. Well, at least I didn't. But, maybe you're in those servers that let you know that it wasn't the best build.
No, I'm not in any servers.
Okay. Alrighty. So, but this is it's interesting news. One of my concerns associated with this is, unless there's also going to be a lot of tokens that come out with this, when is this going to be built? Because I already feel a lot of pressure to get my Gladius done, let alone then upgraded.
Well, you're going to have to choose. Do you want to upgrade your Gladius fleet, or do you want to build your Everest flagship? I know which one I'm doing.
Well, we know you're a big Everest guy.
The rule for staying caught up in this game is always build the newest thing.
I think all rules are out the window anymore. But
But building the newest thing is, well, HVR is not the newest thing, right?
I meant building the newest ship, but you can equip it differently, sure.
But you have to have the Gladius to even get this. So if they're going to put important tech like this in the raid, you have to have a good raid ship too.
Yeah, you can have the Gladius built, but you don't need it upgraded to X1.
Okay. We'll see. I mean, we'll talk about the Gladius TLC in a little bit. Have you made a video on this yet, Derpy?
I have not. I need to.
Okay.
Right. We want to do some more.
Yeah, let's go and see what else is. HTML5 is still here. Okay. There's the AMA with Peter. Does anybody want to introduce what that means? I'm sorry. Again, we've already talked about this. If you can't make it, we'll post a forum thread on Wednesday to submit your questions, and we'll try to best answer them. Either during, I guess, I thought somewhere that they were going to. Okay. No, I guess it's. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to summarize it or because I don't want to have to go through, back 12 hours and they should provide a transcript of.
That's what I was asking for.
Yeah. So maybe that's what we'll have to do on the show. If they don't do it themselves, or at least even if they do it, we can just highlight the juicy points when they're talking about how many weapons they're going to have on Hefe's junk. So
this might be what you're talking about. We'll try to include as many of the AMA FAQs as possible. And yes, I know what an FAQ is.
Frequency analysis questionnaire.
I'm glad they're going to post the frequently asked questions on a forum post update, I guess.
We are also in the process of revamping to make it easier to inform you
to find
the information you need. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what the forum post update is, but it looks like that whatever this new post is will be live next week, and that's when they'll try to include the AMA facts. So it'll be a week before we get the answers.
Yeah,
unless we stay up all night.
Yeah, I don't know. When is the Saw Factory coming? Well, I was going to have to bet on that, but they've gotten rid of a date.
We still can't bet on it because this is it confuses me more than not having this.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of confusing questions in here.
So previously we were told it was coming sometime in September.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you read this, it says the Saw Factory is taking a back seat. Does that mean it's not coming in September? because of the things they already did in the past
It's coming
before they
soon.
announced?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, and the next question is even more confusing.
Tier 9.5 assault hull.
Okay, I mean, we have the current siege raids that's upcoming, and then we have the next one, and then the next one we win the tier 9.5 assault hull, right?
We're
Unless
also
they
tracking for
change-
October on this one during raid week.
But
Wait, okay.
there's a level of uncertainty here, right? It feels like
the
a level.
September raid is like September raid is the second Wednesday in September, and
Yeah.
that's where we use our Gladius. That's the first siege one. We use our Gladius to get the average flagship.
Yeah.
The second siege raid is the second Wednesday in October. That's when we use our Mutineer second siege raid to get the assault flag or the assault ship.
Right, but the way they're putting it,
We're also tracking for October. Like, we're also, does that mean the Saw Factory's coming in October and didn't say it? We're also tracking for October. So I assume that's the Saw Factory October, right?
That's
And we're
one
just
conclusion
excited
you
you
could
are.
take away from this.
or
Yeah,
you could wonder if they're going to have the assault hull ready for the race. That's what's the first thing I thought.
yeah, I'm a little bit confused by both of them. But, maybe it's just the wording. We're also tracking for October. Like, in the tier 9.5 assault hull, the way their formulaic release of TVE hulls is, it's definitely October. So during raid week. So yes, and they're
Maybe
excited.
they're going back to 3 months. Bloody hard.
I mean, that's what it sort of makes me think with the way it's worded, but I guess we shouldn't read into that, right?
Yeah, definitely not.
Okay. All right. And are we getting Conqueror flagship to match the Overlord? Yes. Bounty 36. So,
Yeah, you can tell how excited we are.
mhm. All right. Unless anybody has, you can go to the quality of life improvements.
Is that flagship going to have a 30-day build time for just the hull, or only a 25-day?
No, it better be more than the Defender.
It'll be
look.
It'll be a 5-day build because it's got to come out before everyone gets their Defender hull built.
Yeah. That does make sense. I mean, and it's probably going to have 1 hour for the weapons and the specials. So, yeah.
Okay, are you ready for the coming soons?
No, our primary. Okay. Anybody see anything here?
The upgrade kits, which we knew about.
Yeah. We talked about those on Wednesday.
And that's about that's the only one there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
yay. Love that. Love
No,
that.
that's a good thing. Only available in HTML5, but
That's the only quality of life improvement.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then Lady Cat won the beverage thing.
She won the last one. This is,
No,
I think this is special treatment.
Yeah.
Now this is the first one I've ever got first place on ever, and I tied, but it was the first. Usually I'm in. I've been in the running. So anyway, thank you, Kix. That's gonna help me a lot.
So, and Sweet Pea, I got honorable mention.
The honorable mention.
Oh, I'm gonna send you something.
I'm gonna send you a little something.
Yes, I don't
5
know.
gold? Well, if first place gets 25, then 15, then 10, I think she gets 5 gold.
Well, but then they also get upgrade tokens for the Gladius.
We did.
Okay, she can have a 1 hour upgrade token and 5 gold.
Yeah. I mean, it's because basically, I assume they the winners of this got Derpy's Gladius upgrade tokens.
Redistribution.
Yeah, yeah. They had to tax somewhere, and they chose you, Derpy.
Thank you, Derpy.
Yeah. All the winners should say thank Derpy for. Alrighty. The next contest. Yeah. All right. You want to talk about this lady cat? Because I'm not.
You don't care.
I didn't submit on this one either.
Artists. So you don't have to be a computer artist. You can draw as long as you can scan it, get a digital copy. They're looking for new hull designs, character art, any kind of art related to Battle Pirates. So I mean, you can do computer art. It looks like, but if you're a whittler, go whittle a new ship. You can do anything. Just take a picture of it. That's what it looks like anyway.
Mm-hmm.
All artists. Anything.
Send in a picture of Hefe's junk.
That is artwork, and then there's also
suitably pixelated.
Yeah, and then me and Derpy were going to go out and get Harlock tattoos, and then take a picture of that together, right, Derpy?
Yes, and I also heard if you don't want to do kick size free work for them, you could just apply for their art job.
Okay, but
I think they're outsourcing it to their forums because they ran out of people.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Why pay somebody when you can get? Yeah, whatever.
Okay. Well, I mean, so far as far as the drink contest, as far as like what they're gonna, because I know that in San Francisco they had quite the cafeteria and whatnot, but maybe they needed chefs to come up with the drinks for their cafeteria, their late night cafeteria. I don't know.
Well, I might come up with a new skin design for the Gladius, and I'll call it the Gladius Cadius. I'll have little Cadius on it, the tail.
Yeah, Gladius to meet you. And so I think we've run through most of the content. The links are right hand side in case anybody would like to join. At this point, I mean, we could talk about Bounty 35, but I don't know. Is there anything to talk about Bounty 35?
I'm not doing it. I just don't have the time.
Okay.
I'm bored out of it.
Not doing it.
I hit too many damn targets.
Okay.
So
Even with the enticement of the extra bonus there, I don't have it. No desire.
Well, the main trouble was there's only one target that you can hit.
Yeah.
How about the
And
TLC?
You couldn't find them.
Yeah. Sordid Legion was the next thing I wanted to ask about. Who has got to any of the mastery rounds or prize pack 3 at this point in time?
I've only done prize pack 2, and I did not like the wait time.
The repair time?
The repair time, yes.
Okay.
I
Probably drive better, though, so I need to look for some videos to make sure that it's just not me. But I think they up the damage a lot.
got about 4 hours damage in the first one. I haven't done the second one yet, but that's
I
what
had like over 8 hours, I think, in the second one. It just
Yeah,
wouldn't
which
go right.
is, if people are getting that level of damage because there's one, if you're getting 8 hours of damage, depending how you rotate it, so you consider it once per day. You have prize pack 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 8 days if you're doing one per day.
Yeah, I'm concerned I won't be able to get through the next prize pack without killing off the fleet, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's my fear. I haven't tried it yet, but
And you have X1, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
Party
and-
pack was $9.99, yeah.
And that is my worry about the level of damage, because these are targets we've seen before, but they've just upped the damage in them.
Yes, and the second one I used to do repair in base for no more than a minute or two, and I took 40 some minutes doing it the way I always do it.
Yeah.
With a fresh fleet. So something's going on. Something different is happening.
Yeah, all you guys that are really good at this, make a video for the rest of us. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah. Whether it's possible, I mean, Derpy, what have you made it past Prize Pack 2?
I'm about to do Price Pack 3 later this evening. On Price Pack 2, I autoed the first 2 encounters with just the flag, which I probably won't do again, but it's just an option.
Ask you how.
And I did have to switch tanks when I got to encounter 6, so I switched and used Ship 2 as a tank, even though it doesn't have evade on it.
I did not, and maybe that was a mistake, but I used the same tank all through.
Yeah. I mean, I'd prefer to just use my flagship, but it dies, so I have to use something else. I got through with 6.5 hours damage, Price Pack 2, and my last ship's not even at X1, so there is also the option of the beginner's campaign's intro to Siege does give you a Punisher fleet, so there's another 5 ships or 4 ships that you could probably use to get through a couple encounters.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm disappointed, actually, in when they do that. If they did it. If they actually did it. I don't know.
Yeah, but imagine, I'm looking at this, and we've seen this type of TLC, like Mutineer on the Bounty and whatnot. We've seen this kind of TLC before, which is the building block for them to transition their players from, okay, we're not able to do this, to, okay, maybe we can get everything done by the raid. Now the level of damage feels so high that I don't think a lot of people are going to get there. I mean, it's been
away too.
What?
It drives folks away too. They just get frustrated. And
oh yeah, well, combined with what they're doing with the what's the name of this? The Overlord. They're driving a lot of PvE players away.
Yes.
So I don't know if it's intentional. You have to assume it's intentional, that they're smart enough to figure out what they're doing. But I don't know. They know the numbers.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not sure it's the brightest thing in the world. So
PvE player, I spend a little money on those final upgrades for the raids and stuff, and that's what they would lose here if they drove me out.
Yeah.
Not saying I'm out.
Well,
their intent is to drag me
you
out.
paid for U3 and X1 for some reason, right?
I did last time. Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah. So, TSM, how far have you got with the Sword of Legion? Have you made it to the mastery rounds at this point, or at least Prize Pack 3? I'm trying to figure out what the level of damage is. I've only done Prize Pack 1. I got it done for like an hour and 48 minutes of damage. Within an hour, I had to do some stuff today. I was starting Prize Pack 2, and then I realized I wasn't going to have time to get it all done prior to the show. But I am worried about what's going to happen with Prize Pack 3 and the Mastery prizes based on the level of damage we've already seen.
Exactly.
And but there are some of these TLCs where most of your damage is in 3 and 4. And I'm hoping it's that way, because otherwise I really want to see somebody or talk to somebody or see it as far as what's going on in the mastery rounds, if people are losing entire fleets that know what they're doing.
So if we don't complete this, I mean, obviously we won't get the tokens. But if we don't,
And you won't get the capitalist cannon either.
that's what's concerning me.
And so, okay, Vincent, do you want to come on the? You want to screen share the link? I can send the link again. Just so we know what's going on with the mastery. There's the link in case you want to join the show. We can screen share if you want to, if you're up for that. Okay. Done prize pack 3. You see serpents prepared 5 minutes on dock for target 1. 7.4 hours damage. So that should be similar. You know.
I don't know. Mike said he got. How much damage did you get?
About 8 hours, I think. I didn't.
In prize pack 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but obviously it's Mike, right? I didn't use a crew.
Yeah.
So prize pack 3 is equal to the mastery rounds, isn't it? 'Cause
That's my
that's all
concern,
7.
right?
Yeah. Normally, yes. Yes, I
You
agree.
can't get through prize pack 3. You aren't going to do 5 rounds of mastery without some kind of intervention of some sort, right? Either
Without some coin.
coins or tokens or what have you, repair whatever.
Is this tuned to the Gladius? Is that the problem?
It's tuned to X1.
Well,
It's tuned to X1 Punishers, which it should be.
Punisher. I still suck.
Well, yeah. But I mean, to the fact that if you're really good, you'll get out of it with 6 hours of damage. If you're normal, you'll take 8 hours of damage. If you're a little bit below, you'll take whatever. And if you're not very good at it, you'll lose your fleet before it's over.
You'll have to talk to your bank manager.
Now there's there's 5 days left.
Yeah.
6 rounds if you're going into prize pack 3. And if you're taking 6 to 8 hours damage, you'd have to do one like early in the day and one late at night or late in the day, whatever. You have to do almost 2 a day.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's the issue. That's the issue as far as
FM, right?
Yep.
If you want to get caught up, it's a little bit of overload, I think, but it doesn't matter if you're willing to just shell out a bunch of coins. But if you're coin conservative, it's like, it's not fun that way.
Yeah, well, yeah, and what happens in the future as far as what happens in the raid when people don't have the upgrade tokens, they don't have the build tokens, so
Exactly.
it increases the disparity
Exactly.
between the people that did do that and did not do that.
That's when people start dropping.
I really don't have the desire to do that because I want to do both. And if the whole dock is damn red, it's like crazy.
Well, it's got to affect participation rates for their raids in any case, because people aren't really going to want to do a raid if they haven't got their fleet to the stage where it can actually do something.
And what is your expectations for a player? Because there's no way you can get X1 with anywhere near the time frame without putting some point of coin or money at that. And so if people that have X1 are having issues, I think they're overreaching at that point in time.
See, if I can do the builds, I don't mind. I really don't mind paying a little bit to do the upgrades, just to save all that time. I really don't mind if it costs me $20 a month or something.
But
Well,
you're
I think
Not going to do
I
it
think
if you
half the
don't have your build done.
But I'm not going to do it if I don't have. You're right, exactly.
issue is going to be that people aren't even going to have the base fleet
That's the point.
done fully fitted without then starting to look at, well, where are your upgrades at?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've only got to look at bounties to see what happens with them pricing people out of it or making the targets too difficult. You know, after 9.5 hours, I think I was about number 400 in the world, and I had something like 70,000 points. You know, that sort of tells you what the participation rate was for bounty. So, you know, it'll be even worse for the raid if people haven't got anything that they can really do the top level targets with. They're not going to want to grind on the next tier down, particularly the way the prize points have been. You know, you'd be doing level B targets 12 hours a day every day.
Mm-hmm. Like I say, I'm not going to pay to build them. I will pay to upgrade them. That's kind of what I've been doing, but I won't pay to build them. Good, bad, or indifferent, whatever that.
As the farther and farther behind people get, the less they want to work for it or work hard for it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's hard to overcome. It's hard to stay current.
Well, you miss one raid and you're really behind the 8 ball.
I know. I'm getting ready to plan a vacation, and I find myself having to look at the calendar to
Oh
see.
my gosh, yeah.
It's not, can I miss that weekend? What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't make it up, and that's a problem. So it's frustrating. I mean, I'm glad people can coin, and I'm glad people have time, but not all of us can have those options. Yeah, William's right. The less we play.
I mean, I'm not putting gas in my car right now, so you know, some of it would have been gas money.
A lot of people aren't working, or they're not getting quite as good an income.
Yeah.
Where they're paying more for groceries. It's a hard time for everybody. They're having to buy PPE. So it's a hard time. And to have this be so difficult makes it a little bit harder. That's all.
Yes.
And, you know, I don't want them to have to give us another free fleet. I don't think they should be giving out free fleets. They should make us earn them.
I think they will. I haven't used one of those yet.
The free fleets are really a smack in the face to the people who are bloody coining their fleets.
Or the ones that put hours and hours of time. Same thing. I don't want them to keep giving us free stuff. I'd rather them give us things that are obtainable that we can work towards, but obtainable being the key word there.
Well, the thing is, if they make it a little bit easier to get, then people would be a lot happier. You know, even the TLCs. Really, 8 runs through to get everything.
Oh, it's crazy.
I know.
You know, it's just
it's a full-time job.
It's just a grind to even do that.
It's hard. It's hard for people that have families. It's hard for people that have jobs. You know, it's hard for people all over. So you just have to decide what your priorities are and do what you can.
Yep.
And that's why I didn't do bounty, because I had made the priority be the FM and this TLC.
Wow, you haven't done bounty. This is the first time you haven't done bounty in like a long time, isn't it?
I know. And I wanted to. I want the ship so bad. And even just to get half the shards would have been great, because I'd be halfway there. But I knew I didn't have the time investment to put into it. And I would end up losing dock time and resources.
Well, therein lies the other problem with Bounty is that there was really only the one target that was doable. So
Yeah, and I didn't
You know-
know that when I made my decision, but it made me happier about my decision when I found that out.
like I came back on just before the store opened because I was hoping to knock over a few more points, but I spent 20 minutes looking for a 97. They just weren't there to be had, and all the others. I don't know whether all my other Conqueror fleets are absolute crap, but I couldn't do anything without getting 3 or 4 hours worth of damage on, even the 92s,
And
which you
nobody-
would have thought should have been the easiest ones, but they weren't with what I had to try and do it with.
And they're grinding out the replica bases. I mean, it's just not worth it for the little amount of points that you get for the amount of points you need to get. So that's a real problem as well. Also, they weren't very clear on that 25K, and I think a lot of us were concerned that we would lose half of it right away, or could lose half of it because of their statement that about us. We would get to keep at least 50% of that, which meant we could also lose 50%. So that scared me away too. So
Okay.
things just aren't like working out so well with BP these last few weeks. Not sure why. But
Yeah, I mean the raids. Yeah, it's the raids have been grindy but low damage. It's sort of they're switching back and forth. It feels like to me as far as what their approach is as far as the players go, because the raids have been, the last raid or two was relatively low damage, but just to get to
Needed a lot of seat time.
yeah, it required a lot of seat time. But now this sort of Legion, which is especially upsetting, I think, to a lot of players, because we've seen all these targets before, we've run through them, and now we're taking, twice as much damage as we did before, if not more, even when they were not in the raid. When they were, because where else have we've seen these, and then Pillage?
Pillage,
Yeah.
Yeah, when we see them
Or
in
at
Pillage, we're not taking this
one or
amount
two
of
of
damage.
them.
yeah, of course,
and
the village.
Yeah, and so hopefully they haven't ramped them up for Pillage as well, because that won't be good. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what they're doing here.
I don't
So-
think they are either.
So I put the link out there. I don't know. I don't have much else to say. I haven't been saying much because I'm not happy with a lot of moves that they've made, this last week. So I haven't really, don't want to hear me just sort of complaining about it, but it doesn't feel right, whatever that means.
No, well, it's quite clear that they're not listening to the players.
Yeah. So, alrighty. Well, we're almost to the hour. Unless anybody has any parting words, or does anybody want to run through? Does anybody want to run through any of the targets, or show anybody anything, or? Yeah. I'm assuming he's talking about TSM's talking about battle pirates, but could be multiple things. So, alrighty. The link's on the right hand side in case anybody'd like to join the show. And but I think we're going to end it for the evening. And we'll see you all on Wednesday to, I guess, talk pillage and see what's going to happen there.
Good night, all.
Later, people.
Yep, hooroo.
Take care.